You don't realize you've made a mistake right away. The Puggle is cute, friendly, disarmingly normal. Then your walks stop being walks. Your food starts disappearing. Your dog develops opinions about rules you didn't know were optional. And that's when it clicks. This dog didn't come with quirks. It came with a rulebook you never got to read. So before you bring one home, you'll want to watch this first. Here are 9 things no one tells you about owning a Puggle. Number 1. The nose makes the rules. A Puggle walk can feel like you're trailing a tiny bloodhound who forgot you exist. You start out thinking you'll get a nice, brisk loop. Then they hit 1 cent, slam on the brakes, and you're stuck watching them read the news off a patch of grass. In fact, one Puggle owner wrote, "I've had 7 Puggles. Every single one of them has been driven by their nose and their stomach. On walks, their nose is on the ground the whole time sniffing." Unsurprisingly, that nose-first wiring also messes with recall. In the moment, you're competing with rabbit trails, food crumbs, and mystery smells from 3 days ago. The fix is to work with it. Reward check-ins, use a harness or long line, and let them go sniff as the prize for listening. If you treat every smell like the enemy, the Puggle will simply treat you like background noise. Number 2. The backyard Houdini. Some dogs go outside to relax. A Puggle goes out there to run inspections. They'll pace the fence line, nose glued to the ground, checking every corner like they're looking for a loophole you missed. And if there is one, they will find it. As one owner said, "He's gotten up more times than I can count. He digs under the fence and just takes off following his nose. My neighbors have a protocol for when he gets loose." That mix of beagle curiosity and stubborn determination means yards that work for other dogs suddenly don't work anymore. Digging is usually the first clue. Then it's squeezing under gates, pushing loose boards, or slipping out the second someone forgets to latch properly. The motivation isn't rebellion. It's more like exploration. Smells lead somewhere, and they feel compelled to see where. The fix is management, not trust. Reinforce the fence line, block known dig spots, lock gates, and supervise yard time once they've shown escape tendencies. Because the first successful breakout teaches them one thing very clearly. Freedom is possible, and they will try again. Number 3. The shedding is not a phase. You usually notice it when you sit down and stand back up wearing a completely different color. Nothing dramatic happened. The dog didn't blow coat. There wasn't a season change. Yet the hair is suddenly everywhere, and it keeps showing up no matter how often you clean. That's the surprise with Puggles. Short hair looks low effort, but it sheds constantly and quietly. One owner explained, "It's okay. I was tricked too. Short hair doesn't mean less hair. It just means it sticks to everything." And that's the experience most people report once the honeymoon period ends. Sure, brushing helps, but it doesn't make the shedding disappear. And baths buy you a short break, not a solution. What actually works is adjusting how you live. Washable covers on furniture, a rubber brush you use often, and a vacuum you don't dread pulling out. The mistake is waiting for it to calm down. It won't. Once you accept that, the mess stops feeling personal. Number 4. Food is a full-time fixation. The Puggle has an uncanny talent. You want to know what it is? They know exactly when food exists, even if it's not meant for them. They can be dead asleep, door closed, house quiet, and still appear the moment something edible enters the equation. Meals vanish in seconds. Empty bowls get inspected repeatedly. Crumbs become high-value targets, and the look they give you afterward suggests severe neglect. One Puggle owner shared, "My Puggle acts like he's starving all the time, even right after eating. If I leave the kibble bag out for him, he will try to eat the entire thing." The real issue isn't just annoyance. It's how quietly weight creeps on. By the time it's obvious, the routine is already working against them. The solution is removing choice altogether. Measured meals, capped treats, slow feeders, no free feeding. Structure keeps them healthy, even if they strongly disagree. Number 5. The noises nobody warned you about. You're lying in bed, lights off, house quiet, and then you hear it. Snorting, snoring. A strange, choking sound that makes you sit up and wonder if something is wrong. But with Puggles, this is all too common. The mix of pug facial structure and beagle lungs creates a soundtrack most new owners are not prepared for. Snoring can be loud, rhythmic, and constant. In fact, one owner described it perfectly, saying, "Get ready for the unusual noises. I thought my Puggle was dying the first time it happened. Turns out, he just does that." These sounds don't mean your dog is unhealthy by default, but they do mean you'll need to learn what's normal for your dog. Heat, excitement, pulling on the leash, or sleeping positions can make it worse. So you adjust. You learn the difference between scary and normal. And eventually, the noises stop feeling like emergencies and start feeling like background noise that came free with the dog. Number 6. Their body has an expiration timer. There's a quiet rule Puggle owners learn the hard way. Just because they can keep going doesn't mean they should. They'll happily follow you out the door, match your pace, and act like everything is fine long after the outing should have ended. This is where the breeds mix works against them. The Beagle side brings determination and curiosity, while the Pug side struggles to regulate heat and airflow, especially in warm or humid conditions. The problem is timing. The warning signs don't always show up early. A Puggle can look normal, then hit a wall fast. In fact, one owner described it simply. "He doesn't slow himself down. If I don't stop, he won't. It can be a very dangerous situation if you don't spot the signs early." That delay is what gets people into trouble. Managing this means setting limits before your dog would. Shorter walks, earlier hours, ending things like they still seem fine. With a Puggle, stamina isn't proven by how long they keep moving. It's defined by how carefully you decide when to stop. Number 7. The reverse sneezing episode. There is a noise Puggles make that instantly turns you into that person in public. The one everyone stares at you like you brought a token appliance instead of a dog. Out of nowhere, your Puggle freezes and starts snorting like they're trying to inhale a ghost. It's loud, it's violent, it sounds illegal, and people stop walking. Someone asks if your dog is choking. Another person is already Googling emergency vets. Meanwhile, your Puggle is fully committed to the performance, head stretched forward, snorting like a pig auditioning for a horror movie with zero concern for your reputation. One owner tells us, "My Puggle does this in public, and everyone thinks I'm neglecting him. I just stand there waiting for it to end. Yes, it's awkward having to tell everyone, yeah, he just does that sometimes." The episode usually passes on its own, but the social damage is already done. You stop explaining, stop apologizing, and just wait it out like this happens all the time. Because with a Puggle, even breathing can turn into a scene, and somehow you're the one who looks irresponsible. Number 8. The Velcro dog situation. At some point, you realize you haven't been alone in your own house in weeks, and it's not because you have guests. It's because your Puggle has quietly appointed themselves as your full-time supervisor, following you from room to room like a furry internal auditor. Bathroom doors become suggestions. Standing up triggers an immediate escort. Sitting down guarantees physical contact, preferably in a way that makes moving again inconvenient. It feels affectionate until you notice you haven't taken a single step without company. In fact, that attachment gets louder when you leave. Many owners describe dogs who pace, whine, or panic when routines change, not because they're dramatic, but because separation genuinely stresses them out. One owner summed it up saying, "Mine acts like I'll disappear forever if I leave the house. It's easier to just take him with me now." You'll need to teach them that distance is temporary and safe. Short departures, predictable routines, and independence training matters. Otherwise, your Puggle won't just follow you everywhere, they'll insist on it. Number 9. The maintenance nobody mentioned. Owning a Puggle quietly turns you into a kind of person who reads ingredient labels, like a detective, and keeps cotton pads in 3 rooms. The dog is still happy and playful, yet your routine now includes ear checks, paw wipes, and the recurring question of why that same spot decided to itch again. Skin issues are common with this mix. Flare-ups come and go, which is what makes them maddening. You switch foods, things calm down, and then the irritation returns as if it bookmarked the problem. In fact, one owner told us, "Their coats and skin can be quite sensitive. It's not one big issue. It's lots of small ones that never fully go away." This rarely ends with a single vet visit and a victory lap. It becomes maintenance. That is, regular ear cleaning, drying paws after walks, careful treats, and shampoos that help for a while before needing a rethink. The goal is comfort, not perfection. When you accept that upkeep is part of the deal, the stress stops. Your Puggle feels better, your house stays calmer, and you stop being surprised when guests arrive. Hey, if you enjoyed this, you'll probably love this video here. And if you hit subscribe, I'll donate a meal to a rescue dog on your behalf.